Shubman! Another great day for the man, no longer a myth, the legend that is Shubman Gill. England find themselves 1,032 runs behind at this stage, yet it's the hope that kills you. And do you believe? Stand up if you believe was the cheer that went round Edgbaston today. A lot of people were standing up. I don't know why. Objectively, England are getting pumped again. Yet, there's just a bit in you. There's a little bit in you that thinks, maybe. Is there?
My favourite part of that was looking over at the Hollies and people, it was Stand Up If You Still Believe to the tune of Go West by the Pet Shop Boys.
A banger.
The very next ball, Ben Duckett's pegs everywhere. and 10 minutes later, the song came up again.
Yeah.
It's just it was softer and far fewer people were standing.
Right, okay.
Fewer people were standing.
Okay.
But, I think it is. It was a question in the presser about this. I think it is a feather in England's cap that the way they chase and the grounds that they prepare, prompt captains to change what you normally do.
Yeah.
I don't think it's any kind of a moral or psychological victory to call that out. It's just responding to what they actually do.
Yeah, so India finish 427 for 6 declared. They did declare in the end. England 72 for 3, and they need 536 more runs tomorrow. I reckon early tea time, because they're going to get this done real quick. So that's what's happened in the day. Those are the scores, and Shubman Gill's 161 stands out. Jadeja's 69, also good, I suppose, and Rishabh Pant a very fun 65 off 58 balls. Confusing day all up, I suppose, but because none of this is, you have 150 years of history to sort of, rationalise what's going to happen next. This whole thing's so discombobulating, and the deck is so fucking flat that you don't really know how it's going to pan out because, that's even the Pan Am, which was an airline.
Thank you for clarifying once again. And the Pan Pacs.
The Pan Pacs.
Yeah.
You talking about the Pan Pacs? Yeah. No one really knows what's going to happen. You think you do, but tomorrow is still going to be an interesting day, I think. Or it could be one of the worst days in history.
Absolutely. It was set up by an Indian innings that I think should contextualise the declaration they made. I thought the declaration they made was completely logical and rational, even though there was consternation around the ground. There was some heavy sighs in the press box. I'm sure that is at least in part informed by the fact that English people are if you did declare earlier, there's fewer runs for us to get, and maybe we get. Yeah, please give us fewer runs in more time.
Come on,
and do it because we're the entertainers, and it helps save Test
Come
cricket.
On.
That's pretty much what it was. But yeah, India make 400 odd off 80 overs in the third innings at fives.
Yeah,
Come on. The fact you can do that on day 4 at Birmingham. By extension means that you're going to need fucking heaps. You're going to need fucking heaps to defend.
Yeah.
We have to shout out Shubman Gill here. And again, I didn't want to go big on the first day because I knew there was more to come. I went okay on the second day because I knew there was more to come.
Yeah.
But what I say about Shubman Gill, that they say the great seal of truth is simplicity, and there's a simplicity and a timelessness to Gill's shapes that he makes with the bat that lend his batting an enduring truth. He looks like the best of all cricket technical manuals combined when he's in the form that he's in. I'm about to say that his innings looked easy. It wasn't because he's just on the M1, though he kind of is. It's just alchemy. It's just the shapes and the technique just coming together, and he was in complete control. I think it's the easiest looking 160 I've ever seen. It is golden. He's got his golden patch stuff now. I don't know if you're one of records nonsense, but he's made 430 runs in his Test match. There is only one person in the history of the game who has made more runs in a single Test. That's Gooch in 1990 with 333 and 123. That's a hell of a thing to take away from a game. There's no Equinox stuff to that.
Yeah.
No, only one person's ever made more runs in a Test match than this guy.
Yep. There have been flat decks before elsewhere.
That's true.
Yeah.
most runs by an Indian captain in a Test match. He's now in a conversation that many of us are having with Rubik's cubes as support and fidget toys.
Yeah.
Around most runs in a series.
Yeah.
Bradman 974 and 1930.
Yeah.
And Gill is on track.
So he's now invoking Bradman. Now that is going to upset a lot of Indian fans because they actually don't rate Bradman. So which is it,
Bradman
guys?
played Farmers League.
Yeah, and he just played against England.
Yeah.
So which is it, guys?
Yep.
Which one is it?
Yep.
But you're right, it's extraordinary.
300s in 4 innings this series. So hungry for runs.
Yep.
Rabbit pie stuff. And today was like, blink and you miss it. It's just a man in complete control and command. And there's the decks are good, but his shapes are better.
He's absolutely strumming it. So my favourite part about today, Pezza, was when he was approaching his 100. There was conversations on Sky today about guys that had scored a double and 100 in the same game. So there's been very few guys have actually done that. Gavaskar was the only one that's done a double and 100 for India. But Kumar Sangakkara was on comms. Now he's a guy that scored a triple and 100 in the same game. And he was on with, I think it was with Atherton. And he said, and he was asking me like, oh, whereabouts was that? And Kumar Sangakkara said, I don't remember where it was exactly. It was in Bangladesh, but I can't remember where. That's the master at work right there.
That's how it
One of the
works.
greats of the game. Off-field, on-field as well. So 300 and 100. Can't remember where it was.
Yeah.
I think it was against the old bangers there.
Nothing better.
Yeah.
Nothing better. Yeah, I thought England were like, they were wasteful with the ball. I mean, there was a few question marks over how Stokes is pulling up. I guess he's going back to back. He bowled a decent spell after lunch, but Shoaib Bashir just did the whole thing from one end, and the quicks were put on ice basically. So, and Stokes was essentially like, guys, just take what you need and let us get batting. But it was as England walked from the field, like I didn't exactly get the impression that they really slugged it out, in the third innings.
Right, yeah. I mean, I know a lot of people have been talking shit about Shoaib Bashir and his place in the side. He can't bowl, he can't field, he can't bat. And the guy has got 60 wickets and he's 21. And he's bowling on an absolute flatty. So I did see a stat from Ben Jones today which said that for bowlers that have bowled at least as many deliveries or overs as Shoaib Bashir has, he is now the most expensive bowler. He has the highest economy rate. So, he's struggling to actually contain as well at the moment. So I think it's harsh. I mean, guys are allowed to get better, but you do look at it and you're like, I mean, what is it, But again, like, it's not... it's pretty harsh. I mean, Rishabh Pant's throwing his bat over the fence, and he's been asked to do a job because the guys are cooked because they bowled 240 overs and taken 16 wickets in the game. That's hard. Yeah, that's tough.
I think there is a scenario if they could contain a little bit better or kept India to 4 and over or 3.5 or something like that, they would have a better shot today as well. So
maybe, yeah.
Anyway, I thought that was interesting captaincy, but I'm sure they know what they're doing. Second thing, he goes, just the declaration itself. That if it's day 4 and there's a declaration on everybody must have a strident opinion about the right way to do it. So while you were watching the game yourself, did you find yourself going, well, I know exactly what they should be doing here, having kind of analysed and summarised and synchronised every result in cricket and all of my personal experiences too. Stories are data with a soul.
That's right. I was sort of metastasising all of it to give this answer. Don't know. I'll tell you what I did think. So Jadeja comes in after Rishabh scores like this really fun 60-odd, and he's throwing his bat and he's doing the sweeps and he's charging down the ground. And then Jadoo comes out and scores one of the most boring 50s I've ever seen. And I just reminded myself that, like, Jadeja is, without question, one of the greatest players to have ever played the game. In this generation, he's 3 formats. If he's not now, he at least has at one point been the best fielder in the world. He has won at everything, I think, just about. And he's a great cricketer. And I fucking hate watching him bat. He scored 400s and he scored 24 50s. He's doing the sword when he gets the 50, and I think it's just because it's always been against Australia and it's annoyed me. Because he bats 7 and 8 and 9 with Ashwin, and they just score hundreds when you think you're in with a sniff. And he's just sort of like dead batted his way to get Shubman to 160 in the end.
Well, he did farm the strike a bit with Shub
that was really
was on road to 100.
That was so annoying.
He's picking up a couple of singles.
So he's what a cricketer. He's like, I hate watching this. So that's what I was saying. But in terms of the the declaration, I suppose it seemed like they were going to get to a total, but they were going a bit slow because I was like, it was just generating innings stuff, It was just like, we all know where this is going, can we just get there? But sometimes cricket's shit. Sometimes cricket's boring.
Well, they were they did put the foot down eventually. Like Shubman was just carting everybody everywhere, and they ended up, the innings is at fives. But I don't really understand the logic that says that India went too far. Like they went too far because it's like we're here. Trust me, it's a fucking road. It's an absolute road, and they've made 400 in the third innings. So it's clearly excellent to bat on. And you're like, okay, so 5 and over in the third innings is doable, and you only ship 6 or 7 wickets. Then by extension you need more than that, right? Mm-hmm. So for me, I thought 600 with that amount of time was perfect. If you give yourself more time to bowl in that situation, if you need the amount of time that you give yourself, so if you need 5 sessions, England will get the total. You've failed, So 4 sessions is about right. It gives you 2 cracks at the new ball, 2 new balls, and it gives you a morning spell as well. Yep. So I thought it was bang on. Creating 12 to 13 chances on this is difficult as well. England have scored 500 in a day before, and I also people fail to realise that when you by playing on England's ego here, they're going to offer chances, which is what we saw this afternoon. So I thought the declaration was bang on, and he finishes with 3 wickets at the end of the day. Because guys come out and go I do have to force the issue. I do have to kind of play that check drive on a length because I want to keep this bad boy going. Yeah,
I thought that in terms of the timing, it seems like they just had a number in mind, and it's a new ball wicket, if at any point it is. And so you're looking at you're going to get 2 bites, as you just said, with the new ball, and a couple of overs tonight as well. So I personally thought about 550, but then it's
it's a matter of time though, because if you gave him 550 and 10 extra overs, I just don't see how that scenario is any better for India. Because you're if we need 120 overs to get these out, we're not going to have got it done. So.
As it's turned out right now, they've given themselves the perfect amount of time to try and win the game. 7 wickets is going to be hard tomorrow, I think.
But the feather in England's cap is we respect the fact that they could probably go at 5 and over for 90 overs, right? Or something like that. Right. So you dangle the carrot a little bit higher than that to induce some risky shots. That's what they've done. I think absolutely play on. Yeah. There is some chat that there might be a session wipe tomorrow for rain.
It is supposed to be cold tomorrow, I know, at least.
Okay.
So there's that.
So on to England's innings. He goes, are England in trouble? Put a question mark on that. Crawley plays a loose, wafty drive to Gully. That was...
Christ.
That was yucking my yum.
That was yumming my yuck.
Yeah, right. I don't know.
I thought... I actually felt sorry for him. That was a guy that's fielded for 240 overs.
Oh, and he's dropped a sitter today as well.
And there was a half volley. It's wide. His weight's back. He's probably just fucking exhausted, to be honest.
But you play that shot when you're we've got to go at 6s.
Yeah, I know. I'm not even defending him really. Yeah. It's a garbage shot. But I just felt sorry for him because it's I didn't open the batting at as an adult, but just fielding for so long, and then and then it's your turn to get in the flatty, and it's just get through this part. And to be honest, you get through 12 overs, and it maybe looks a bit easier. Yeah. But Jesus Christ, man.
They thought they had Duckett, but they burnt one. Shubman's burnt 2 reviews.
Yeah.
That's going to hurt, I reckon. Because I think once they get through 20 odd overs, Harry Brook looked like he was playing off his cock when he came out. Get through 20, 30 overs, it's going to be tough going to get wickets. Yeah. We talked about the Holly stand, and then Akash Deep does Joe Root with he gets Duckett, by the way, which we spoke about, but then Akash Deep gets Joe Root with he's completely undone him there. The away swing was outstanding, and he turned him inside out and gave him twisted blood, like a winger down the track. Now later on, it looks like it should have been a no ball.
It should have been a no.
But India's good for 1 or 2 of them per game, so we're ready to rock.
He broke his ankles with that ball. That was an absolute seat. I saw actually, because I've been watching. We've both been watching the West Indies Australia game at the same time, and they had a stat about Shamar Joseph that in the last 5 years or last 3 years or something. he has made batters play more than any other bowler. And on that list was like Kuldeep Yadav was on the list, and Akash was like second or third in the list. So like he's at the stumps all the time. Krishna's getting the Lord's test off, unfortunately, for the KPMG guys. They want to see a couple of big Krishna guys. Akash has been magnificent in this game so far. He's actually the only one that's got it consistently to talk with the bolt upright seam. So I mean, Suraj looked 6 for, but Akash was good as well.
So I thought Ollie Pope looked ropey out here, but
sketchy.
But he's still there at the close. England's 3. I wouldn't say England's 3 for spit. I got to say, just as an experience today, like sitting in the press box and watching Shubman Gill cart everybody everywhere again off his cock, and then have my phone there with the VPN watching a couple of the Aussies just scrunted around, like Cam Green attempting a drive that through covers it ends up in front of square leg, and I mean we'll come to Australia, West Indies. They're still the game's still going now, I mean, again, because everything is just prelude to the Ashes, I just can't underscore how different the two games are that these guys are playing. Like it is. You could almost go as far to say it's barely instructive. Like if you're asking the question of like how is England going to go in Australia, it's just like I don't know how much of what you can take from here is translating. It's just more like does this method that they are pursuing can you pick that up and put that into Australian conditions? I'm sure they'll try, but like it is such a different game,
mate. I was thinking the same thing because I was thinking about like the West Indies attack, and I was like, guys, it's probably better than the England attack, and I was like, well, that's harsh on on Woakes, Cass and Tongue in this game, where like if they were bowling on the decks in the West Indies, they look great. They look great. I mean, by the way, Cass this morning, that first hour and a bit, he was magnificent.
He was good,
He was really, really good. And he got the deserved wicket of Karen Nair, wasn't it? So
the only guy the only specialist batter and wicket keeper in the series who hasn't made a 50.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So I think India's made 1,780 runs already in this series. I think and I think today was the most
they'd ever scored in the Test.
Yeah. So I mean, these are comments on the conditions.
Yeah.
Like that's what this is.
Yeah. I mean,
it is a little comment on the way white ball cricket has influenced the way guys bat now.
Yeah.
I think like guys are they are pushing boundaries, but literally and figuratively. But
I did think before England started their innings it was going to be like 5 for 450 tomorrow, and like at the 30,000 feet view of this game was just like this is just a garbage deck, and like these conditions are rubbish. But India have dominated the game, and they fully deserve to win. Whether they do or not is another issue.
Well, the Bazball stalking horse, the team pursuit cycling.
Yeah, here we go.
Will they get their sprint on? I honestly, if they can get, I'm not saying they're going to do it or anything like that. That it would be insane. But I think that if they get through the first 20 overs of tomorrow, the going is very good. If Harry Brook and Jamie Smith are still there, they just didn't ever look like getting out the other day. So
I heard that this wouldn't be just a record chase in Tests; it'd be a record first class chase.
Yeah, right.
And the captain who has the record for that is Dinesh Karthik.
Okay.
And the boys in the Sky commentary box loved that.
Yeah,
they loved that.
And then they asked DK where it was. He goes, I don't remember.
A shout out if you want to come and see us live on stage with Stuart Broad in London in 8 days' time. I want to say Sunday week. We'll be at the Hammersmith Apollo. Ticket link in the description. Come and see us live. That's what we're here for. We're here to see you guys. So come and see us as well. And and of course we'll be back later tonight to wrap up day 3 of the West Indies Australia game. I think it's still raining. Are they back on now? They're back on now. So there's that. So see you later on the internet. Pez or us, TGC.
Callum says, can anyone tempt Stokes to get back on the beers? Sober Stokes is made for boring Bazball, which means Test cricket is dying again. Joe Two Roots says, how much does Shubman owe Bazball for his 400 runs? A lot.
Yeah.
I haven't read this, but Harry Brooks Brain Cell says, I'm busy tomorrow, so can't watch. If I don't listen to the radio, can I ignore the inevitable 200 all out forever and solely remember this is the test where India was so scared that they didn't want to declare with a 600 lead and nearly 4 full sessions to bowl England out? Feels the only way to soothe the pain. I haven't talked to a non-familial woman for 5 years.
That's just a comment of that guy's Sunday. He's
totally
lined up a Sunday, hasn't he?
Yep. Jeremy Corbin Bosch says Gill's 400 runs wouldn't have happened had England not invaded his country 400 years ago.
Oh my God.
Jesus. I'm sorry, KL Rahul's wavy rave sunny is a sign he's been hanging out with Rabada.
I'm into the Yoakleys that he's wearing.
I'm into everything KL Rahul's doing at the moment.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
entire
yeah.
stylings of KL Rahul. I tell you, he wouldn't be the only cricketer hanging out with Rabada. I got the tip.
Come to our live show. We talk about it.
Just saw day 5 tickets at 25 quid, 5 for kids. With the home team 500 behind us, 7 wickets in hand. Why not gold coin donation? Add to the list of things Bazball inflates.
So this is what we were talking about before. It should be gold coin donation for day 1.
Yeah.
And you should be jacking up the prices for day 5 because tomorrow's going to be a day of history.
Exactly.
A day of history tomorrow. That's all it's going to be. No more, no less. And we'll be here. So come along and join us again. And we'll be back later tonight to wrap up, as I said, day 3 of the West Indies-Australia Test match. And what do you reckon, Pezza? Anything else?
A huge day of cricket ahead tomorrow. Can't wait.
And a special day of Test match cricket.
And that's what this style of cricket teaches you.
A marvellous day of
does,
Test match cricket.
And the happiness is.
And what they've done to the game is
for the game.
A pleasure to be here.
And the way they've shown us. And this is a different team.
It's a different
This is
team.
a different team.
team.